Hi, I'm Juliet. Gary Oldman directed a music video for a Jewish hip-hop band which he shot entirely on cell phones. He asked me to direct the making of, and when I saw the footage that I'd gotten, I realized I had a unique perspective into Gary's creative process. I approached him and asked if it could develop into a short documentary film. In these interviews, I'm talking to other artists who I admire about their creative process, and like Take Flight, hopefully shedding some light and showing them a little bit differently than they've been seeing.
I became an actor kind of by default. I moved around a lot when I was a little kid. I went to 5 different elementary schools, and it's tough being the new kid on the block every year. And so it's hard to make friends. It's hard to, so my friend, my best friend in the world became my trip to the movies. I could kind of lose myself, and I could play different, I'd put myself in the film, my second best friend was my imagination, which we use a lot. So I combined those two, and I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, and I fell in love with the movies so much that it just became a perfect fit. I walked into a management company, and I said, I'll make runs for you guys. I'll do deliveries for you if you send me on auditions. And they laughed at me. And I said, okay. And a month later, I was the lead on a television series. So I was very fortunate. It didn't take that long. My favorite quote in the world is Woody Allen, 90% of life is showing up. As a songwriter, I don't like to lie. You're not going to hear me writing songs about being on the back of a tractor or being married or anything like that, because I just I don't know about it. That would be lying. And I think that songwriting is true. When you get up on stage and you're singing songs to people, you better not lie to them, because they can see right through you. There's an immediate, response from your mouth to their ears and back to you with their eyes, and you can't lie. So when I write songs, I really try not to lie. Now, not to say that everybody does that, and it's not the right choice. It's the right choice for me. If I had to really talk about playing a kid, I guess it's a different situation for me. I'd have to pick one of the roles I'm doing right now, a television series called Leverage. I'm still the little kid. I remember him, and I'm not that far off from the little 14, 15-year-old kid that would get down on his hands and knees on the side of his bed and pray this would happen to him, that he could be an actor. I really wanted it. I loved the imagination that I had, and I loved the daydreams that I had, and I wanted to follow it. And with this is the role that I came to Hollywood to play. I mean, it's funny. I get to kick the shit out of people. I do my own stunts. I get to choreograph the fights. I mean, it's everything that you'd ever want as a kid. Of course, I did a film called Secondhand Lions, and I got to play one of my idols, Mr. Robert Duvall, and I got to actually be him when he was younger. And it was it was sword fighting and horses and Africa and all this stuff, and it was told through Haley Joel Osment's eyes, and so it was a kid's perspective. A Princess Bride type thing, if you will, whenever I showed up on screen. So I just got to be carefree. I got to be a little kid. It was fun. It was love and war and all the great stuff that makes of a good romance. Great film for me, which was so much fun. We were so young at the time. Was a film called Summer Cats. It was just a bunch of guys out there, me, Freddie Prinze Jr., Wilmer Valderrama, Jesse Biel, my great friend, the beautiful and late Miss Brittany Murphy. We spent the summer playing baseball. And I'm not the only one. We're all little kids running around there. So a lot of fun. I think the biggest misconception about me is that maybe maybe he's not good in the comedy realm. And I'm always the heavy. I'm always trying to beat somebody up, and it's funny, I'll bring up a situation. Like it's so I started off on Angel. Me and David Boreanaz, who's my best friend, we were the only 2 actors that were in the pilot and the season finale. And you see these two serious actors. You see these guys that are trying to kill each other. You know, every night we'd go out and have a beer, and then every day we'd get up and we'd go to set, and you try to kill your best friend. And that was one of the best times in my life for me, getting to work with David. And it's funny because if you got these two guys that are serious, and we got swords and we got knives, and we're trying to punch each other and kill each other and literally send each other to hell. And as soon as the camera stops, you see two guys laughing and grab-assing and having so much fun. And if you ever look at a shot with me and David, if you'll notice, if David's like, "I'm gonna kill you," or I'm gonna be like, "I'm gonna kill you," if it's an overshot, which means the camera's got a little bit of someone else, the other person's like literally like their shoulders are going like this because we're laughing so hard. If you do something that's really, really great, you're proud of yourself. And there's a chance, most likely, that will outlive you, outlive everybody else that saw it on its first run. It's the business of immortality. And that's how it feels. As an actor, when something comes together, you've done something that is going to be around forever. You'd see some dorky shit. You'd see some a little bit of some geekness that I don't show anybody except my friends because I have an image to uphold. But if I had a cell cam, you might start talking with a little bit of twang after you watched it, because there would definitely be some rednecking. It would be well, you could call it redneck. Yeah. You have a film with Gary Oldman, Jewish hip-hop, and cell phones. How do you market that? Well, you have something with Gary Oldman. I don't think that you have to do a lot of work to market something with him. I mean, everybody wants to see what he's going to do next. I mean, I'll tell you a story. No one's ever heard this story. So the night before I packed, my truck was packed and I was going to Los Angeles, I sit down and I watched my favorite movie in the history of movies, and still is to this day, The Professional. I got done and I turned on, the very last song in The Professional is a song by Sting, which just happens to be my favorite song as well, called Shape of My Heart. Got happy, got pumped up, cried, went through every emotion that I could go through. Is this the right move for me? And in the morning I woke up, I got in my truck and I moved to Los Angeles. And I didn't have a job, but at that point, I was an actor. I was an actor that day. If you're going to market a film, I can't think of a better person to have there than Gary Oldman. I got to be honest with you. So that's my take on that.